Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Electric is Better. Today, we have our Sur-ron here, and I thought it'd be fun to cruise around our town on the Sur-ron, but we need to do something to it first. All right guys, we got our 2018 Sur-ron X that we've never had Supermoto wheels on. Huge difference on the Supermoto wheels versus the, look at those. Those are 21 and 19. These are both 17. So these are quite a bit smaller. When you sit on the bike, feels like a mini bike. All right, so without further ado, let's get on the road. All right, guys, so this is, I hope you guys can hear me okay. This is our first time riding on the Sur-ron with Supermoto wheels. The bike obviously is like shorter versus my 21 and my 19. It feels like I'm riding like a mini bike, but the tires feel awesome on the road. I feel like I'm glued to the pavement, basically. We don't have a lot of torque. We got their 42 tooth sprocket, which is equivalent to the 48 tooth on the stock rims. Not like our 58 tooth, and we can just wheelie whenever we want. But while we're talking about the nuclear controller, actually, the last two races that we did, we've had problems with it. So the first race in Byron, we only got 2 laps in, and that's why I only uploaded the highlights of the video, is because the 2 laps on the second lap, we didn't really even crash. It was kind of like we fell over on the enduro section. We just lost our footing. It's the last clip on that video. The bike just turned off, and I didn't know what was wrong with it. I didn't know how to turn it back on. So I tried to run back to the truck and fix it. But I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. And I didn't figure out what was wrong with it until I got home. I figured out that this wire right here goes from the controller to the display. There wasn't enough slack in the fork, so when I did a hard turn, it pulled this wire right out of the back of the display. And then we were just at the bike barn, and the same thing basically happened with this one. A little tiny branch caught on this wire, ripped out the throttle cable, and I had to push it back to the pits, and then I ran back to my truck and I took off the display, opened up the back of the display screen, plugged it back in, and went back out and got 2 more laps. So I'm learning with this controller that these connectors in the back of this display are not heavy duty. They come out kind of easy. I never had any kind of problem like that with the X controller. We're gonna cable tie these up here and make sure that they don't move at all for our next race. Also guys, before I forget, like, comment, subscribe, and go to my Instagram to follow me. I'm giving away 3 of those 58 tooth sprockets. They're like 75 bucks a piece, and I'm giving 3 of them away. So if you want a chance to win, you have until the channel reaches 5,000 subscribers. I love you all, and I wish you the best of luck in winning them. Anyway guys, I'm gonna go downtown and ride the bike, and I just wanted to talk about riding the bike on the road. I know a lot of people buy their Sur-rons or their Segways. They want to know if it's legal or illegal to ride it on the road. There's a lot of crazy stuff you're seeing online. Originally, when I bought my Sur-ron in 2018, I planned on using it for a daily commuter, which I did for a little bit, but then I stopped and went straight to motocross. So I can start off the conversation by saying it depends on where you're located. If you're in Europe, they sell the bikes registered and ready to go on the road. However, when you're in the States, it's a different story. So that's how I'm going to start out the conversation, that basically you can't register it in any states. The exception to this rule is California. The only place I've ever seen anyone able to register their Sur-rons are in California. And when you do it in California, even, you have to do a mail-in registration, which means they don't see your bike. Basically, you give them your engine number on the bike, and then you give them a VIN number, which your VIN number on your bikes is another reason why you can't register it, because your VIN number, it doesn't have enough digits in it. So you have to add 2 digits to your VIN number to even get it to register. So after you send them a bullshit engine number and a bullshit VIN number, then sometimes in California, they send you a registration back and you put it on the bike. You can register it as a moped. Technically it's still illegal because mopeds are not able to go over 39 miles an hour. If they go to that 40 miles an hour mark, they're considered a motorcycle. So I'm excluding California. If you guys in the comments, let me know in the comments if you're able to register this somewhere else. I've tried to register it several times at my local DOT, and they have never allowed me to register it. I don't have paperwork. I don't have anything to register the bike. And they've given me this answer, which I think is really weird, but it's the answer that I get most often, is that I can't register it because I don't have paperwork, but there's nothing that's saying it's an illegal vehicle. So, and that's kind of where it ended. Like, I couldn't get it legally to ride on the road, but it's not illegal kind of thing. Like, it's a really thin line. Here we go, let's follow this cop down here. So in my experience, basically, you can't register the bike unless you're in California, and even when you're in California, it's a sketchy ass thing that you do. And sometimes it doesn't even work. I've seen people get denied when they're in California still. So after learning all of that, I still decided to take the bike to work and use it as a daily commuter for a while. But in my experience, like even after riding, I've been riding on the road sometimes. Usually I stick to the back roads, but I use this for a good 6 months as a daily commuter all summer. And I never got stopped by any cops. No one ever said anything to me. I drive it on bike paths sometimes. Even the bike paths say no motorized vehicles on them. And no one has ever said anything to me. I've even pulled up to cops and talked to cops like while I'm sitting on the bike, and they don't even ask what it is. You can say that it's just my local cops. We're in a small town, so usually the cops, some aren't so cool, but some are really cool. But most of them are really cool. This thing, there's a couple cops right over there having a chit chat. What I found out about this bike is that since it's electric and it's so quiet, if you're riding one of these and you're just using it as, I would say use it more as a bicycle, like treat it like a bicycle, not like a motorcycle. So if you have an option to ride it on a bike path or ride it on the road, ride it on the bike path or the sidewalk. And if you're not being loud and obnoxious and doing wheelies or speeding down the road or going up and down flights of stairs, basically what I'm saying, guys, is be like respectful on your bike and don't be an idiot, which is dangerous anyway. And I've never had anyone say anything to me. We've been riding around on this Sur-ron for, I don't know, about an hour already. We passed 6 cops and no one said anything. I'm not doing anything stupid, so they have no reason to stop me at all. Like, and the bike's really small looking, so some cops might even think like it's a bicycle. Now the cops in my town, thumbs up to them, are really cool. They still have to uphold the law, so if they see someone riding around like without a registered motorcycle, they should say something, but which I'm not allowed to be on this bike path technically either. But here we are, the one that says no motorized vehicles. Now if I was zipping up and down this bike path, you know, at full throttle, then I'm gonna get stopped. They're gonna take my bike away. I've seen people on the Sur-ron Facebook page get their bike taken away or get tickets because they're being morons. And especially if you know you're doing it illegally like I am right now. I'm not supposed to be riding this on the bike path, and I'm not supposed to be riding it out in the city, period. But that's just been my experience. If you're not being dumb, if you're not being irresponsible, if you're not being loud, then no one seems to care. So I hope that kind of answered some of your guys' questions. It's not illegal, but it doesn't seem that if you're riding fine, no one cares. So if you're thinking about getting a Sur-ron or a Segway and using it as a commuter, I would stick to the sidewalks mostly, and I wouldn't worry too much about it. I'd worry even less about it if it had a belt drive. I just bought these tires from Unicycle, which I think, by the way, are a really good deal. Let me just say that. It's like 350 bucks for the tires, the rims, the tubes, the sprocket, the chain, and both discs. Basically just buy it and slap it on. It was the easiest thing ever. So A+ on Unicycle, good job guys. Yeah, I just bought these just to throw on the bike if I ever decide I want to daily commute. All right, Granny, go ahead and go. I don't want to get hit by grannies. The #1 enemy of bikers are grannies and teenage girls. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you found it useful if you're thinking about riding your bike or using your bike as a commuter, basically. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.